You like hurting people, right?
What, you got a death wish, jerk off?
The movie opens with young Sean Donovan talking to his mother, Mary. The story quickly shifts to a shocking moment when Sean and his father witness a brutal carjacking that ends with his mother's death before his eyes. 10 years later, the memory still haunts him. The trauma turns Sean into a withdrawn teenager who avoids friendships and reacts violently to any sign of aggression. To calm himself, he secretly takes medication hidden inside a bandage container, keeping it from his father. Despite his struggles, Sean remains a top student with a deep interest in subjects like chemistry. When his father, Terry Donovan, asks about school, their talks are cold and distant. Since Mary's death, their relationship has felt strained and empty, and Terry's efforts to restore normalcy have failed. One day, Terry visits his wife's grave and apologizes for not coming sooner. He tells her that Sean has made a new friend and plans to attend a party, feeling hopeful to see his son finally opening up again. Meanwhile, Sean boards a train and is hit by a flashback. He remembers his abusive, alcoholic father and how his mother, Mary, was his only source of comfort, taking him to music classes to escape their troubled home. In the present, Sean walks past a park and sees a drug-addicted woman begging her dealer for more time to pay. After she leaves, the dealers, Tony and Stretch, notice Sean watching them. When they threaten him, Sean suddenly accuses Tony of killing a child. Enraged, Tony attacks him, but Sean fights back fiercely. In a shocking turn, he overpowers Tony, seizes his gun, and shoots him. The story then shifts to Teresa Ames, a police officer juggling personal struggles, including constant calls from her ex-husband about their son. She is also handling a major case involving Larry Childs, a drug dealer accused of murdering 2 people. Despite her hard work, the court unexpectedly postpones Larry's hearing, giving his lawyer more time to push for his release. Teresa's strong record in the anti-crime and narcotics unit earns her a promotion to homicide, where she partners with Gary. In the same unit works Officer Bill Baldwin, someone Sean occasionally visits to use his computer. Later that night, as Teresa prepares to leave the station, she finds Sean alone using the printer. He explains his connection to Bill and leaves. Curious, Teresa checks the document he printed and finds the strange word trisalarin. She ignores it and heads to her car, only to discover a flat tire. Seeing her struggle, Sean offers to help, and they talk about her case. Knowing her from the news, Sean asks if Larry will escape justice. Teresa admits it depends on the system and possible deals. After fixing the tire, she offers Sean a ride home, but he declines, choosing the train instead. The next morning, Sean practices boxing when Terry joins him, trying to teach him how to punch harder. Despite Terry's attempts to reconnect, Sean can't forget the abuse his father inflicted on him and his mother. In a flashback, a drunken Terry argues with Mary about Sean's piano lessons. When Mary defends her son, Terry lashes out violently, warning her to stay silent if she wants to remain in the house. The memory still torments Sean years later. Meanwhile, Stretch, the drug dealer, reports Tony's murder, but there's no evidence. Gary suggests dropping the case since Tony was a drug-dealing pedophile who had plenty of enemies, but Teresa isn't convinced. She asks about Sean and learns that his mother was killed right in front of him 10 years earlier. Sean continues visiting the station daily with Officer Bill's permission, going through mugshots in hopes of finding his mother's killer. Seeing his determination, Teresa offers to help. Sean refuses at first, but eventually gives in and accepts her support. The story shifts to a prostitute calling her client, Joe, to say she's sick and can't meet him. Joe becomes violent, breaks into her room, and drags her out. Sean appears and intervenes, fighting to protect her. Both are injured, but Sean's actions aren't random. He specifically targeted Joe after finding him in a criminal database. When Joe threatens him, Sean draws a gun and shoots him in the chest, killing him instantly. The next day, Teresa and Gary investigate the scene and speak with the woman, who reveals Joe had killed a 13-year-old girl but escaped conviction. She only describes Sean's black clothing and refuses to say more, convinced God sent him to save her. While reviewing the case, Teresa suspects the same person killed both Tony and Joe. At the morgue, she checks if the bullets from each crime match and realizes Joe might be the man Sean was searching for earlier. She then asks the coroner about tricelerin, the strange word she saw on Sean's printout. The doctor and his assistant explain that tricelerin is a deadly poison that causes the esophagus to swell, leading to suffocation. They also confirm the bullets from both murders match, proving the same killer is responsible. To learn more about Sean, Teresa invites him to lunch. During their meal at a Chinese restaurant, a couple argues loudly in Chinese. Sean surprises Teresa by fluently telling them off, revealing that his mother had encouraged him to learn several languages. When Teresa brings up his mother's case, she gently tells him it appears to have been a random carjacking with no new leads, urging him to move on and live like a normal teenager. Frustrated, Sean asks what she'd do if he actually knew the killer. Teresa insists that justice requires evidence and proper procedure. Her answer only angers Sean more, as he condemns the system for allowing criminals like Larry Childs to walk free. That night, during Bill Baldwin's retirement party, Teresa keeps linking Tony and Joe's murders, noting both victims were killers who had escaped justice. Curious, she asks Bill about Sean, but he snaps at her, accusing her of prying, and tells her to leave Sean alone. Later, while Teresa and Gary ride the train home, a Chinese woman asks for help breaking up a fight between two men. Moments earlier, a drug addict had boarded the train and started harassing a woman. Sean, sitting nearby, rubbed black paint on his face and quietly told a Chinese boy to take his mother to safety, not wanting the child to witness what was coming. Sean then fought the addict, quickly overpowering him. When the woman alerted authorities, they spotted a figure in black, but couldn't identify him. Teresa tried to stop him, but Sean escaped. Later, an officer reports that the suspect spoke Chinese to the boy before attacking, confirming Teresa's suspicion that Sean is the vigilante behind the murders. The next morning, Sean dreams that Teresa arrests him, only to wake and realize it isn't real. It's his birthday, and Terry takes him to his late mother's favorite restaurant to celebrate. There, they meet Terry's old friend Aaron, who recognizes him as Rock, his boxing nickname. Now the restaurant owner, Aaron reminisces about Terry's past and offers to show him some old photos. While Terry steps away, she chats with Sean, explaining the nickname and revealing that 10 years ago, Terry was a heavy drinker who often got into street fights with the wrong crowd. Terry soon apologizes for leaving early and gives Aaron his contact information before taking Sean to a boxing match. They spend rare quality time together, and afterward, Terry brings Sean to the street where Mary died. He tells his son to let go of the past and live his life fully. Tearfully, he apologizes for the pain his violence and addiction caused, admitting he can't change what happened, but promising to be a better father from now on. The next day, Teresa visits Bill's house, demanding the truth about Sean. Hesitant at first, Bill lets her in and finally explains what happened years ago. After his mother's death, Sean was so traumatized he couldn't cry or speak. When police showed him mugshots, he instantly pointed to one man, but when they showed it to Terry, he denied knowing him and scolded Sean for accusing someone without proof. Pressured, Sean took back his statement, claiming he was mistaken. He never spoke of it again until recently, when he saw the same man's face on the news. Sean is convinced his mother's killer is Larry Childs, the same man Teresa is trying to convict. Later, Sean meets Teresa, thanking her for her help and saying he's ready to move on. He leaves with a friend to attend a party. Still uneasy, Teresa follows and waits outside. There, Gary calls to inform her that Larry Childs has made a deal with prosecutors. He'll serve only 2 years in prison before entering witness protection, escaping justice for multiple murders. At the party, Sean suddenly recalls Larry Child calling his father Rock on the night of his mother's death, a nickname only Terry's old friends used. The realization unsettles him. Moments later, Sean witnesses a school bully assaulting a girl. Unable to control his rage, he attacks the bully and beats him brutally until a friend pulls him away. Overwhelmed, Sean rushes to Aaron's restaurant, while Teresa prepares to follow. On his way, Sean replays the events of that night in his mind. He remembers his father stopping their car after being rear-ended. Larry Child had approached, exchanged words with Terry, then walked over to Mary and shot her dead. The memories connect everything. Terry and Larry's past friendship, the murder, and his father's silence. Sean breaks into Aaron's restaurant, searching for proof. By the time Teresa arrives, he's already gone. As she explores the place, she finds old photographs showing Terry and Larry Childs together, confirming Sean's suspicion. When Terry returns home, he finds the place ransacked and calls the police to report a break-in. Searching the house, he goes to the basement and discovers Sean sitting there, drunk and furious. Sean erupts, accusing his father of years of abuse and of working with Larry Childs to murder his mother. He believes Terry arranged the killing to collect her life insurance and escape his debts. Terry struggles with him, admitting he knew Larry but insisting Sean misunderstood what happened that night. Sean insists the killer called him Rock, proof of their connection, but Terry denies it. Overwhelmed by rage and betrayal, Sean raises the gun and shoots his father in the chest, killing him. Moments later, Teresa arrives and confronts him. Sean says Terry hired Larry Childs to kill Mary. The gun's still lying on the table. Desperate, he begs Teresa for help. Understanding that the system can't always deliver justice, she quietly takes the gun and throws it into the river, covering up the crime. Sometime later, Sean writes a letter to Larry Childs, now serving his short prison sentence. Instead of expressing anger, he offers forgiveness, hoping to ease both their burdens. He only asks for the truth about his father's role in his mother's murder, including 2 stamps with instructions: use a black one if Terry was guilty, or a red one if he was innocent. Larry, being manipulative, sends the letter back with a red stamp, pretending Terry was innocent, but Sean anticipated the lie. He had coated the stamp's glue with tricelerin, the same deadly poison from earlier. When Larry licked it, he suffered a swollen throat and suffocated to death. In the end, the truth remains unknown. Whether Terry was innocent or not is left unanswered, leaving Sean and the audience trapped in the same uncertainty. If you enjoyed this video, don't be shy to hit the like button, and if you disliked it, hit the dislike button twice, just to be sure. It would be best if you watched the whole movie. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe for more videos like this.